What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Driven Review. My name is Ryan. Today got a little video kind of talking about a subject that a lot of people talk about with these cars. I know I've had a few questions about it. I'm just going to kind of get into the details. I talked about this on the E85 tune video, but I kind of wanted to make a designated video kind of just talking about E85 in general, just to kind of clear some things up. So if you guys don't know, I have a 2023 Mustang GT. It's a 301A pack, so there's no performance pack, which is what I wanted. I didn't want the performance pack because I want to do it all myself. So I'm doing, suspension, wheels, all that. I'm doing all of it myself so I can give you guys some more content. That was kind of my idea behind getting the car. Obviously, I love the 301A. I don't, I'm not like taking this on a track yet. So I didn't see a reason trying to get the performance pack. But anyway, guys, let's just dive right into this topic. So about 4 months ago, I got my first E85 tune from Lund. It was the E85 R2, so like E85 race tune. And so on that tune, you have to run straight 85. I know they say you can go down to E75 because some stations sell E75 labeled as E85. I've never filled up at a station that I didn't test, so I've never ran anything other than E85 in the car. So yeah, let's just talk about it real quick. So I was running that tune for a while, and I don't know, I made a video about this too, but after I started kind of messing and like tuning with the car, I started to get some weird transmission problems, which I've heard a lot of people say. I was getting some super harsh shifts, out of 3 into 4, out of 4 into 5. So it's kind of like your primary range. In the normal drive mode, it's really not noticeable unless you're like flooring it, wide open throttle. But once you put it in like paddle mode, in sport mode and your manual mode, it kind of started to, like, anytime I would shift into 3, out of blah blah blah, it would jerk really hard. So it's not, I hear a lot of things about people saying like Lund tunes. I heard a guy told me that the Lund tunes force drag mode transmission timings in every drive mode. I don't know if that's true. I haven't confirmed it with Lund yet. I'm gonna hit him up, just kind of ask him a couple questions about that. So I ended up doing a cam reset, adaptive cam reset, and it fixed it for a while, but I don't think I drove it long enough without, going hard on the throttle. So I think it kind of messed it up. I gotta redo it, drive the car for 100 miles without like flooring it or blipping the throttle or anything like that. So yeah, anyway, guys, other than that, I love the tune, guys. I mean I love the feel of the E85 tune. I'm a huge fan, but I got a little, after a while I was like, I don't, every time you reflash the car you have to do the cam reset thing. I was switching between 85 and 91, so I was just like, I don't know, what should I do? So what I ended up doing was ordering the multi-tune from Lund, which I did a review on, so go check that out. Link will be in the description. In the multi-tune, I got the user adjustable flex, so I can set any blend of 91 and 85 without having to reflash the car. So if I want to run 91, I just set the ethanol content down to 10%. If I want to run a blend, I can do it. Right now I'm on an E50 blend, which I like. On the E85, on straight E85, it was a little weird. Like sometimes it would kind of, how do you say it? It just would kind of perform a little weird, not in a bad way, just not how I was used to the car handling. I don't really know how to explain it. Like sometimes the shifts would just get a little weird. The idle sometimes would be a little funky. I did obviously do a data log to send to Lund, and they said everything was good, so I'm not worried about it. But especially on the ghost cam, like when I was running the ghost cam on straight 85, it just kind of was, I didn't like the cam sound as much as I did on like a blend. Obviously my favorite is just on straight 91. I think that's how the kind of ghost cam sounds the best to me. But anyway, guys, so far the multi-tune's been great. Again, I just need to do the cam reset. I shouldn't have a problem after that. but it's been great. You know, obviously when you run E85, you lose gas mileage. The gas is cheaper, but I don't think there's any positive offset to that. I think right now, let's see, I've been on an E50 blend, and my average MPG has been right around 13 miles per gallon driving on the street. So it goes from about 16 to 18 down to like 13, so you do lose a good amount. But that's kind of why I like to run E50, because you get a little bit more mileage, but you still get a little more power. So it's not the same amount of power as if you were running E85, because that's how you're gaining your power. The multi-tune with the user adjustable flex, you gain the most power at E85. So if you're running E50, you're not getting the full benefit out of the tune power wise. Doesn't bother me. I kind of baby this car. I really don't go too hard on this car, mainly just because I want to, you know, make it last a long time, do fun stuff to it, and just have fun with it. One thing I have heard is, you know, running E85, they don't put your, like, 91 has additives in it, so like there's the fuel injector cleaner and whatever else in the 91, but E85 doesn't have that. So what I've heard is, if you're just gonna run straight E85, run, you know, 9 or 10 full fills on it, and then run a cycle of 91 just to clean out the injectors. I haven't messed around with this too much, done too much research into it, but I know you could just add, you know, your own additives into it for injector cleaning if you never wanted to switch out of E85. But do be aware of that. The car is built for E85, so from the 17, or I think it might have been 18 and up. I think the 17, maybe 18, you had to do injectors to run E85. I don't remember, but all I know is 2020 and up, all you have to do to run E85 in this car is a tune. I've heard some people kind of say you should replace the fuel pump anyway, because you're putting a lot more stress on it with E85, because you need more fuel than you would 91. Again, I don't, you know, I'm not racing this car. If I was going to take this on a track, I would, and if I was going to take this on a track and run pure 85, I would probably look into doing, you know, the actual like throttle body, injectors, and fuel pump. But my intention is eventually I want to boost it, and then take it on a track running 91. I've been looking at doing, you know, Ford Performance, the Whipple supercharger, and having Ford Performance tune it. I don't know, like, I know, so when you do that through Ford Performance, you do retain a warranty. So they give you a warranty on the supercharger, but it voids your factory warranty. It's something weird. It's one of those things I don't really understand, but you do kind of get a warranty on the supercharger through Ford, which is nice. I'm not too worried about it, but I was just kind of like, well, if I'm going to do it, let's just have Ford tune it. I don't want to deal with, you know, remote tuning on something like that. So yeah, hopefully that'll happen pretty soon, but for now I'm just doing a E85. I have dogless downpipes with the MagnaFlow Neo system, and a K&N high flow filter, which has been feeling great. You know, I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, you should do a, you know, a cold air intake on it. It's more airflow, but these air boxes are so solid. Like, if you're gonna do, you know, throttle body injector, the whole like full bolt on, I would suggest to do an intake. But for what I'm doing, there's really no reason to. There's very minimal gains between my setup and then my setup with cold air intake. And a lot of the people who do cold air intakes are just short ram intakes with boxes. Usually a lot of people do boxes so that you don't pull in the hot air from below the intake. So you're essentially just replacing your current intake with a cold air intake, but there's not, like, you're still pulling air in from the front of the car, whereas with an actual cold air intake, it would go down in the engine bay closer to the wheel well, where more cold air is getting into, so the hot air from the engine rises up and your fresh air is on the bottom of the car. That's how you would usually do a cold air intake. So that way you're getting colder air into the engine, cooler air into the engine, but with the short ram intake, you're really not seeing anything like that. So again, no reason for me to do that. I think it's kind of overhyped on naturally aspirated cars. I did an actual cold air intake on my little boosted Civic, and it was awesome. I would totally recommend it. You pretty much have to do it if you're boosted. You have to have a cold air intake if you're boosted. There's no way to keep this airbox anyway. But don't go wasting your money on a cold air intake when you're just running naturally aspirated. Don't waste your money on it. But yeah, so far E85 has been great. It's been working well. I would say to do it. If it's readily available in your area, do it. It's fun. It does void your warranty, your car's warranty, because you're modifying everything. Like, you're modifying your powertrain, your engine, and tuning it also voids your warranty. But I know some people are like, well, if you ever have a problem with it, flash the car back to stock, fill it up back with the full 91, take it back to the factory, and they won't see it. But I don't really like playing those games. It's kind of a dangerous game to play. So yeah, it's never been my worry. I've never worried about warranties or anything like that. I never got like an extended warranty. I knew what I was going to do to this car. I didn't want to deal with trying to lie to anybody about anything. So yeah, not much to say, guys. Again, go check out my videos on these tune reviews, because I go more into detail about them. But you do gain about 55 wheel horsepower on E85, which is a good increase just for a fuel swap and not having to modify any of the actual parts in your engine. So I would recommend doing it. Runs cooler, keeps your engine temps down just a little bit. It's fun, guys. I would say to do it. Yeah, not much to say, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. As always, this has been Driven Review. Drive safe and have fun. Ryan out.